So making your way down gently to your back, to your mat, to the earth. Taking whatever leg position this morning feels good in your body. Maybe it's knees together, maybe it's cobbler, maybe it's just legs straight out. Find that spot that you can close down your eyes. You can feel your body get heavy and supported. You can feel the breath beginning to come in the nose, flow through the body. And maybe there's a moment here where you can quiet the mind and unite all three. Take just a couple breaths. Lengthening the breath. Letting each breath completely fill you. And our theme, as we posted, is the pause between the breath. So without directing your breath, as you take the big inhale, find your pause for however long that is. Find the depth of it, the quiet of it, and then release the breath and release the body with the exhale. So there's so much written about the pause between breaths that it's our time to let ourselves respond to a situation and not react. So when we learn to control the breath, we learn to control the mind. When we learn to control the mind, we learn to control our response to the chaotic world around us. So if nothing else in this practice, you can shut off your device. You can breathe in for 4 and pause for 4 and out for 4. You can take whatever breath pattern, but I want you to notice the pause and what the pause offers you. Taking in a deep breath. I read an article this morning about when somebody cuts you off, and I don't know why they always use that as an example, like you're going to just react. But no, they said, can you just respond and say a little prayer for that person that he doesn't cause an accident? I'm going, yeah, right. But you know what? That's where we need to do the work. When we feel the reaction, when we feel the ignition of just energy or madness, we have to pause just for that moment and decide, how are we going to handle this? Because when you react, it's almost like throwing more gasoline on the fire. When you respond, it's almost like, bad choice of words, making a fool out of the person in front of you who's having their raging little fit. So you get to control the situation by simply controlling your breath and controlling your mind. And that's my hope for all of us today. So a couple more breaths. And as you exhale this last time, let the exhale go slow. Whatever leg position you're in, bring the knees to center, the feet to center, roll over to one side, and just release whatever props you're using, putting them off to the side. Taking in a full body stretch, interlace the hands, over towards the top of your mat, pressing the palms away from you, pointing the toes, sending the toes away. And just for a moment, notice the palms, notice the fingers interlaced, squeeze through those finger joints, spread through the face of the palm to the heel. So just really widening, and then press the palms away. And as you press the palms away, kind of squeeze the shoulder blades in underneath you and draw the belly in just a bit. And let's just move here with the arms first. So palms press away. Palms come up towards the ceiling as your arms go vertical, and then draw them down towards the hips. Press them away. So just finding some range of motion, lifting the palms back to the ceiling and back over your head. Just taking a couple sweeps. Again, range of motion, working all the way through the joints. It's probably one of the healthiest things we can do for ourselves. And we'll take one more. And then when you bring the palms down towards the hips, let go of the interlace and just let the arms go out like you would in Shavasana, out to a diagonal. So allowing the shoulder tips to kind of roll down, opening up through the chest. And then pause here and simply breathe. Drawing in the inhale. In that pause between, can you notice if you're clenching your hips or holding up your shoulders or your jaw? In the pause in between, what can you release so that you can respond instead of react? Full breath in. Let's draw the right knee into the chest and give it a squeeze. To the outside part of the body. Good. And as you draw the knee in, flex through the foot and maybe circle through the ankle. And as you interlace there around the shin and you circle through the ankle, notice what you notice underneath your palms. So it's just like the pause. There is a space between movement. So maybe you notice the calf, shin muscles, popping in the ankle, point and flex. Flare all 5 toes and then draw them in and flare again and draw them in. And release the right leg long and we'll take it to the left. So interlace around the left shin and draw the left knee in. Notice if you're any tighter in through the groin here, just take a moment. So the knee comes towards the left shoulder, not towards the center of the chest. And again, with the palms firmly placed around the shin, just begin some movement in the left foot, pointing and flexing. Noticing what occurs in the leg to be able to make that movement. Maybe circle the ankle one way and the other. And then come back to that flex, spread the toes, pinch them in, and flare them again. And then nice and slow, release the left leg long, draw the right knee back in. As you draw the right knee back in, pick up your shoulders, pick up your head, draw your chin in towards the knees, leaving the shoulder blades lifted as much as you can, and use the leverage in the palms. It's okay to draw yourself up. The core is engaged and the back is totally supported on your mat. Keep the head and the shoulders up, keep the foot flexed, and change. Draw in the left, hover the right now. So little core engagement. Right leg's long, foot is flexed, heel points away, and it's about 2 inches off the mat. And draw your chin towards the left knee and switch. Keeping the head and shoulders up if you can, keeping that core engaged. Let's go right and left. Apanasana. It's a great digestive pose as it squeezes the digestive organs. Wind removing pose if you want to know the other name for it. Good. Take a couple more each side. If you can, maintaining the shoulders and the head up and the leg hovering. Okay, one more each side. Draw both knees in. Lower the shoulders, lower the head. As you squeeze the knees in, maybe a rock side to side. Feeling into the back body, bringing some blood flow, some circulation to the skin here, just like we would if we were using like a foam roller. And then plant the feet wide on the mat, toes pointing away from you. Keep the right knee pointing up towards the ceiling and drop the left knee into the center of your mat, any amount. So here, beginning, maybe you feel the quad, maybe you feel the IT band or a stretch to the outer hip. Let's pause there. And here we just want to, without force, just send the left knee as close to the mat as you can. Same time, notice your upper body here. Upper body's in that pause space, right? Nothing to do, just rest. Switch it out. Let that left knee come up. Let the right knee come in. So right knee into the center of the mat. Again, what do you notice from the hip to the knee? What do you notice maybe in that ankle joint as you've got a little dorsiflexion and compression there? Bring the right knee back up and take it left again. So maybe now the muscles will allow the left knee to come down a little bit further. Maybe you even add the left arm extending, resting on the back of the hand. So we get this nice long body stretch, fingers to the knee. And then draw that back and take it right. Right knee comes into the center, that internal rotation through the right hip, and maybe the right arm extends. So now again, on your own with your breath, and take the pause when you want the pause, switch it out. Left knee comes in, left arm extends overhead. Big inhale, and we switch and exhale. Take 2 or 3 more on each side. Nice. And as you come back, heel toe the feet back to the center of your mat. Pause for a moment. Do that little pelvic tilt. So the pelvic tilts up towards the ceiling, the low back rest on the mat. Pause there as you scoop the belly in. Just take a moment to notice any tension in your shoulders or in your jaw and just use the pause to feel what you feel. And then let's roll over to one side. We'll make our way to all fours. Just moving through the front and the back body, spreading the fingers wide, palms press down and away, drawing in the belly. So we have this nice flat spine to begin. We let all the air out. I'm tucking my toes. I'm not going to make us do intensive toe pose here, but if you tuck the toes and you press those toe pads in, you're going to get a nice stretch to the feet as well. Couple cat cows. So inhaling, lifting the tailbone, lifting the heart, belly drops. Exhaling, press into the palms and round. Round so much that you feel the shoulder blades separate. Maybe you feel some space along the spine, and then come back. Take that arch, big inhale in, and then take it back. So this is our traditional cat-cow. Maybe you switch it up. Maybe you gaze over one shoulder and the other, kind of wagging the tail side to side. Maybe you roll through the torso. We have to move our spine, 6 different ways every day. So just feeling into how the spine feels this morning. And we're going to take that modified vinyasa. So we're going to work through the spine, but we're going to do so in more of a grounded way. So as you finish your last cat-cow, set the hips back towards the heels and extend the fingertips as far forward as you can. Keep active arms. So we're not going to rest the forearms down. We're going to come up onto tented fingers, setting the hips back as far as we can. Length through the entire spine and opening through the shoulders and the soft tissue under the shoulders, and activating all the muscles from the shoulders to the fingers. Take a full breath here. And then find a pause. Notice again how you feel. And then release the breath slowly and softly. So now palms can come down, forearms can come down, top of the head can come down. And now we'll flow. So planting the palms on your inhale, round spine up to the table. And shift the hips forward any amount as you bring them down towards the mat, lifting the chest, pressing through the palms. Good. Come back, round through your table, back to your child's pose. Get nice and long. And then you move with your breath. We're going to take 3 here. So just rounding up, shifting forward, finding that little arch, finding that space between the collarbones, the space between the breath, and press back into the palms to your child's. Dramatic movement here with your breath. And returning, extended child's. Now I'm going to lead our down dog to plank. But if this feels good, just rolling with your breath and checking in with your body, stay with just that movement. If you want a little bit more, you can follow me here. As you're ready, big breath in, around the spine up, and draw the chest forward. Tucking the toes, we press the hips back, up towards the ceiling and away when we find our dog pose. Belly draws in, we float to our plank. Strong pose here. Send it back to your dog. Press the palms away, thighs and chest come near each other. And gently drop the knees down and shift it back. Extended child's. So again, we roll ourselves up into our table. Fluidly, we come forward, chest lifts. Toes are tucked, so we can lift the hips up high and back. Downward facing dog. Wave the spine forward. Heels back, chest lifts, power in the palms. Send it back to your dog. Gently again, knees drop. Child's pose. 2 more, whatever version on your own. I'm not going to cue it. Just use your breath. And if you get lost along the way, what do I say? Make it up, right? Here we go. Big breath in. You take it here. As you finish your last one, we take our time. We meet in that extended child's pose. There's no hurry here. My toes are still tucked, which again brings extra circulation into the toe joints. But as I'm in my extended child's, I'm just going to flip my palms up towards the ceiling, draw my fingers in to a fist, and draw the fist into my inner wrist. Just relieving some pressure into the wrist. Just gentle movement, knuckles away, knuckles in, knuckles together like a fist bump, thumbs move away. So just finding some rotation, some movement to release the wrist. And then we'll flip the palms back down. Send the arms nice and wide first. Head comes down towards the mat. Find the length between the fingertips. Maybe you feel the stretch in the biceps here as the weight of the arms come down. Draw in your breath. Then sweep the palms down towards the feet. And here, untuck the toes. Come down onto the tops of your feet. Maybe you lower a little bit more. Maybe your hands find the heels. So your chest is resting on the thighs. Allow the shoulder tips to just round in and relax through the chest. Bring the breath to the back body. Finding the inhale to inflate between the shoulder blades, in between the back ribs, using the back of the lungs. Take a pause in that breath. And then as you slowly exhale, let the body settle into this circle that is you. From the fingertips, the back body, the shoulders to the head. This is where I'll leave you this morning. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll look for you on Monday. In the meantime, enjoy the pause. Namaste.